Now that brings us to our first guest tonight, Claire Marie. She's a former reserve law enforcement officer and also a school emergency management expert who helps school districts better prepare for traumatic events like a school shooting. Claire, you should know, is also the author behind this new children's book. It's called Sammy the Sasquatch. This book focuses on preparing kids for a school emergency, of course, like a school shooting. This is a sad reality that we now live in. We welcome Claire. Claire, thank you for all that you do to make our school districts safer and to help parents have a better and more open line of communication, because this is very tough to talk about. Now, I was really intrigued by the fact that a lot of your work centers around this idea that lockdowns are the new norm. But if I'm a parent or a child, I don't want that to be my new normal, but you think otherwise.
Actually, I also don't want having to do lockdown drills to be our new normal. I hope a school never has to do a real lockdown. But I do want to advocate for coaching kids how to do lockdown drills and normalizing kids keeping themselves safe, just like wearing a seatbelt when they're in the car. When we don't prepare kids to know how to do a lockdown, we fail them. While people often associate lockdown with active shooters, lockdown is simply a function schools can use to keep people safe in response to different potential threats. We need to empower kids to be able to keep themselves safe regardless of what is going on in the world around them. And we need to do this in trauma-informed and developmentally appropriate ways.
Yeah, because, you know, when I was growing up in school, of course, we had the emergency drills when you drop, stop, drop, and hold. Gosh, it's been a long time, and I should know better. But that was sort of, that's your idea behind what you're saying for these lockdown drills. Just like you practice for an earthquake, practice for this, and that way you do feel empowered. If this ever does happen, you do know how to carry yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, it's great advice. How do you think that school districts should handle this moving forward? This is sort of the new normal. What can we be doing better to safeguard our campuses and our students?
There are a lot of options for school districts to improve in this area. And in my work, I hope a majority of efforts are focused on prevention, protection, and mitigation. I hope they never have to respond or recover from an emergency. One specific thing schools can do is to check that all doors close, latch, and lock properly. And if a door is found to not do one of those things, it should be fixed immediately. Another area of focus should be on building strong relationships between district, schools, and key community partners like law enforcement and first responders. These groups need to be working together to streamline collaboration, communication, and coordination before emergencies. I hope emergencies never happen. I think we all hope emergencies never happen, but we need connected, well-prepared systems just in case they do.
We were just looking at a video of Saugus High School here. That's a local high school, Claire, in the Santa Clarita Valley that had a deadly mass shooting just over 3 years ago. And then on Friday, there was a false alarm for an active shooter. So, of course, you can imagine the trauma that these parents had to go through all over again. How can parents have that difficult conversation with their children about these types of situations?
It's a great question. It's important for parents and caring adults to wrap these conversations about big safety topics like lockdown or fire drills into larger conversations about stuff kids do every day to be safe, and start with small stuff. They put their seatbelts on, wear helmets, look both ways before crossing the road. You want this to be a strengths-based conversation. And then normalize any feelings they have without fueling any challenging emotions like fear or anxiety. Kids will match your energy and emotions. They will co-regulate with you. So approach these topics with a calm, empathetic, and empowered demeanor.
All right, having those difficult conversations, very important, though, that's for sure. If you'd like to, parents, if you're watching, Claire's book is called Sammy the Sasquatch. Welcome to Crittertopia. I read it today. I can see how this would be so beneficial. This is for kids 4 to 8 years old. It's out April 18th, but available for pre-order now. The website is sammyandfriends.com. The website also has plenty of tips for parents and also educators. Claire Marie, thank you so much for being with us tonight at 6 o'clock.
Thank you so much for your time.